So when you're breeding dogs, you have to understand that you're not breeding the breed as a whole, but you're breeding a specific gene subpool within the breed, meant for a specific task. And therefore you're breeding that sub-gene pool of the gene pool at large. I hope that makes sense. Now, in order to concentrate those genes, you have to inbreed or line breed to create prepotency. What does that mean? It means if I take a prepotent male, usually it's the male, and I take a non-inbred female and I pair them together, even though each parent is 50-50 of the child, the prepotent male in this example has a high degree of homogeneous genes from his father or grandfather. So essentially he's a recreation of his grandfather in this example. His qualities will outpower the female. Now in dog breeding, mitochondrial DNA is very important. So you could take a weak male, not that great, and a superior female, and you'll still get good pups. But the opposite is not true. If you have a superior male and an inferior female, you will still have inferior pups. So a good mother with a good mitochondrial line, which she gives to both sons and daughters, will compensate for a poor male. But a strong male cannot overcome a lousy female in breeding dogs. That's my observation that I've seen. So, what does the male contribute then? The male contributes prepotency. In other words, most lines of dogs are based on the male ancestor having had inbreeding in him. By having common ancestor, he's line bred upon, repeated in the pedigree. Therefore, he's prepotent. That's what the male contributes. The female contributes the mitochondrial DNA. So, if you want to create a line of dogs, let's say for guiding the blind, you now see some of the Heritage Foundation of the Blind crossing golden retrievers and Labrador retrievers. Why? They're not crossing necessarily the two breeds. They're crossing an animal, golden retriever or Labrador retriever, which exhibited the qualities that was good at guiding a blind person, and another dog which was good at guiding a blind person, and they bred them together. In other words, they're not trying to create a new breed. It's a performance breeding for the attributes of guiding a blind person. So that's a performance breeding, but this is the quality they're looking for, ability to be a good service animal. So that's a kind of performance breeding. So basically they're not breeding by phenotype or genotype, they're breeding by qualities, and they're hoping they're heritable. Now, the puppies that come out, which is a mix of golden retriever and Labrador retriever, what breed are they? They're neither breed, right? But to get the qualities I wanted to pass on, let's say the father is a Labrador retriever, I would breed back to that father to amplify his traits. If that's what, you know, if you don't mind breeding that close. What's another way of doing it? Another way of doing it is what's called a 2 or 3 line breeding. You would take 2 half siblings, same father, that Labrador retriever, 2 golden retriever moms, in my example, and you create puppies from each female. Now, you have half siblings, brother and sisters, which are half siblings, common father, different moms. This sister would not be bred to her own half brother.